What's going on, everyone? Gilman with Live Wealthy, back with another video with our daily Apple update. So today we'll be taking a look at how Apple traded for today and what the future for Apple could look like. So thank you guys so much for getting us to 100 subscribers. We really appreciate your support. If you haven't yet, please go down below, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It really helps us out, and it only takes like 5 seconds. So really appreciate you guys doing that. But getting right into the Apple analysis, if we take a look at the one-day chart, what we see is that Apple dropped just a little bit today. So the overall market was down. NASDAQ was down about 0.29%, and Apple was down 0.76% or 76 basis points. Dow was down about 148 points, and S&P was down about 0.5% as well. So taking a look at Apple when compared to the market, you know, it's a little bit more, but not too much more. We opened up, so yesterday in the video yesterday, and feel free to go back and check that video out if you haven't yet, but I mentioned how you know, I kind of saw Apple opening somewhat sideways, right? So not gapping up, not gapping down, and that's sort of what happened. So we gapped down just a little bit, about 40 cents or so, and then we filled that gap, but then from that point on we fell down, you know, and this wasn't really much of a surprise to me. Again, from the video yesterday, I sort of talked about us going up for 3 days in a row, and at that point we were hitting about 10% in just 3 days, which again is insane, especially for a company the size of Apple. Not to say that it couldn't have continued that trend, but we were kind of approaching some of our resistance levels, and you know, I just sort of was anticipating a little bit of profit taking. So this you know, initial down sell-off, I guess you could say, a little bit was kind of expected. You know, nothing too surprising there, and then it kind of pushed against the VWAP, went down, pushed against VWAP, went down, and then we were under it, and then we broke above it, and then we went under it. So somewhat of a sideways day for Apple. You know, changed directions a couple times between when it went above and below the VWAP. Nothing too crazy there. Some things that I do want to kind of point out though is I want to take a look at the indicators. So first things first, the trend that we've sort of been talking about. So Apple was making this lower high, lower low for a while, but a couple days ago I mentioned how we sort of changed that trend. So taking a look at, you know, the last 4 days, right, including today. So last Thursday, last Friday, yesterday, and today, today being Tuesday, September 29th, what we see is, you know, we are making higher highs and higher lows other than today. So today's chart, what we'll see is, you know, when we rallied up at the very beginning of our chart, it's right there, but we reached a high point of 115.31. Yesterday we had opened at 115.32, so we didn't really beat yesterday's high. So technically speaking, we only got up to yesterday's high. We did not make a higher high. However, we did make a higher low, which is a good thing. So, you know, this trend isn't completely gone yet. It still somewhat stands, but we'll see kind of what Apple does over the next couple of days as, you know, we approach some big catalyst events for Apple. Taking a look at the NASDAQ really quick, you know, we kind of had a similar day for NASDAQ where we are kind of sideways, which could mean that it is consolidating, which again is not a bad thing. It's a good thing because it means that, you know, with Amazon's Prime Day being next week and then Apple's iPhone being announced in 2 weeks, which I'm assuming means they actually announce the event itself next week, could be a positive catalyst for Apple, causing it to run. Taking a look at some of the indicators, I want to focus on the 21 and 34 EMA. So 21 is 113.66, as we'll see here, 113.66 and 113.06, which I believe can serve as really great resistance points. Matter of fact, let's go over here, and if we were to draw a line, I'm just going to draw a horizontal line on 113.66. It kind of shows how it acted as support, you know, just today twice. So we go here, you know, we dipped all the way down to 113.69. Here we did go kind of under it, right, by a couple pennies, but then we came right back up. I think it's holding that EMA, which is generally a good sign. Taking a look at the high end, what another thing that I see is Why is it not zooming out? There we go. So zooming out just a little bit, you know, this point has served as resistance at the top yesterday and today a couple times. So here, and then towards the end of the day. So that 114.70, 114 high 60s can serve as a resistance. And then taking a look at another resistance point in the moving average, what we see here is the 20-day moving average line is coming in right at 115.09. As we could see, you know, the top wick of this candle is barely hitting through that, so that could act as a resistance as well. So what does Apple do in the future? Well, so yesterday I was pretty certain that, you know, I think Apple was going to dip a little, and as we could see, it did that a couple times. As a matter of fact, let me just pull up this trade here. So I took some put trades, which means I'm betting the stock to go down in the near future, and I used Robinhood for this one because, as you know, I usually use Schwab, as I've shared some trades before, but I was out of buying power there, so I ended up using the Robinhood and the little bit of money I keep there. But yesterday, September 28th, I bought a put for $325. This morning when I opened up here in the 115s and kind of ran up a little bit, I bought another one at 278 right after I realized that it did not beat yesterday's high. So when it stopped at 115.31, started pushing down. At that point, I bought another put at 278 and then got rid of both of them. I think one of them was when it was down here, and then I waited. It went up a little, but then when it came back down, I got rid of the second one. So my cost for both of them was, I believe, $603, and I sold them for $645. So it was about, what, 40 bucks, 40 something dollars, about 6 or 7%. So nothing huge, but if you kind of can get into the habit of, you know, understanding where Apple could be going and taking advantage of the short term, you know, it could definitely be good. Now, I don't hold any current positions into tomorrow. You guys know I like taking positions kind of the second half of the day based on how it trades and then selling it the next day. But today I'm not in a position, and the reason for that is because of the presidential debates that are happening tonight. If nothing happens, as in, you know, it goes the way it's supposed to, then I think we open up kind of sideways tomorrow and maybe a little up, maybe a little down. I talked about, you know, we're hitting that resistance coming up in the 115s, and then we also have a lot of support at the 113s. So I'm hoping for somewhere between that. If something crazy does happen, does come from it, and markets react a certain way, then Apple, being a large company, will likely follow that. But yeah, I think it largely depends on how the presidential debates take on tonight. I think, you know, I'm still in Apple long, right, stocks, as you guys know, but currently holding any short-term, you know, betting for or against the stock, I don't see it. I do see a little bit of upside, obviously, as next week we could be headed into, you know, an iPhone launch event, or at least the announcement of it, so that's definitely a good catalyst. So hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are having a good day. Hope if you haven't liked the video or subscribed to the channel yet, that you will do so. And yeah, that's all I had for you guys today. Let's hope to be a bit better every single day, and until next time.